Now let's understand key features of AWS team. Yeah. Any idea what is scaling? Just now we discussed scalability. Can anyone tell me what is scalability? Scaling resources based on demand. Example, example, mean I created one resource. Let's say I deployed application, X application in in let's say mission one. Mission one. I used load balancing. I configured load balancing and I configured auto scale. Auto scale. In auto scale, let's say I configured min is 1 and let's say max I configured 500 missions. 500 missions. Okay, let's say multiple customers are connecting into this system. Then I created a load balancer. Let's say load limit, let's say at a time, let's say 1000 load, 1000 customers, 1000 people using this one. I need another mission to to support for more than 1000 people. Let's say threshold limit. Let's say 1000 interaction to my mission. More than 1000, I want another mission. So like that, it is creating multiple resources dynamically. Let's say when less than or equal to 1000 people are there inactive, then remaining systems released automatically. If load is increased, resources are created. Load is reduced, resource going to release, called scalability. Also, we have vertical scalability called in a single mission, we can increase RAM size, we can increase number of CPUs, we can increase hard disk space by adding volumes. Vertical scalability means single system. Horizontal scalability means multiple missions dynamically adding. Next one, security. In AWS, in AWS, we have a special service called AWS IAM. AWS IAM. Let's say, let's say we have we have 12 developers. 12 developers. Okay. 8 data engineers. 8 data engineers. 2 testers. 1 administrator. 1 administrator. Based on these roles, based on these roles, I want to give access of AWS. AWS currently offering 200 plus services. AWS currently offering 200 plus services. 200 plus services. I do not want to give access of 200 services for 12 developers, 8 data engineers, 2 testers, and 1 administrators. Based on their role, I want to assign policies. I want to assign policies. So here we can create users. Okay. We can create groups. We can assign policies to users and groups. So first level security we can achieve using authentication and authorization using AWS IAM. And along with this one, let's say you want to store some software keys or password details, etc. things. We have special service called AWS KMS, Key Management Service. There we can store certification keys related, certificate keys related, and password related, etc. Sensitive information we can store. There are plenty of securities. These are some important. And next one, reliability. And first, flexibility. It supports multiple operating systems and multiple programming languages. Let's say I want to create a EC2 instance. I want to create a EC2 instance. In this instance, I want Linux. I want Windows. Under Linux, I want a different operating system. It has multiple operating systems. Next one. We have 200 plus services. I want to interact with these services. It supports Python, Java, .NET, Node.js, and plenty of programming languages. Plenty of programming languages. It is not fixed for particular programming language. Okay. And reliability. Very, very important one. Reliability. Let's say Mumbai is a region. In this region, minimum it maintain three availability zones. Three availability zone. Availability zone means it is a data center in generic terminology. Data center, data center in generic terminology. So in each region, minimum it maintains three availability zones. If one availability zone not available, you can access from other availability zone. Okay. Hmm. Same data only. Yeah. If you are storing data, then think about data. If you are you are deploying your application, think about resources. Let's say I'm deploying my application. Instead of in a single availability zone, same application I deploy in another availability zones. So that if one availability zone is not available, then we can connect to another availability zone. AWS people given opportunity of availability zones, but your application you have to set up in multi availability zones. Okay. Let me add one point here. Let's say take a Python programming language. They are giving scripting oriented, object oriented, procedure oriented, and modular oriented. You are asking Python people develops program for you. No, right? We have to develop program based on our requirement, right? Hello. We have to similar way. AWS people providing resources, services. You can develop based on your requirement. You can utilize this availability features. They are giving all the features. How you utilize is depends upon your requirement. If you take single availability zone for your mission, cost is going to reduce. Same application I want in another availability zone, another mission, or I want same application in multiple missions. Cost going to increase, but your application is available 24 by 7, whatever the reason happened. Let's say Mumbai South region completely suffering with the floods. So entire availability zone is not available, but still you can access, your customers can access your application because somewhere in some other availability zone, your application is running. Yes or no? So you are making, yeah, no, you are think about your application. Let's say e-commerce application, you deployed in this mission, you deployed in this mission. Application is same. Application, you are always thinking about application going to store this data. You are thinking this one, you are not thinking about your application. So always you are thinking about the storage. Before that, who is going to process your request? Your application, right? Again, I am coming to your point. Storage. Storage also, let's say 200 missions you set up. You set up. Some missions you replicate in availability zone 1. Some missions you are going to assign in some other missions. Then you going to duplicate your data into multiple missions so that you can access your storage also. First level application we are setting in multiple missions. Similarly, storage also you are setting in multiple missions in multiple availability zones. And even we have a cross zone option. Cross zone in the sense, let's say this is Mumbai region, another region is Canada, another region is, let's say, US, another region is UK, UK. Mine is banking application. Mine is banking application. My client is bank client. If, if entire region is suffering problem, still I want to make my application available to my client. Even though budget is increased, they do not care about budget. They are banking clients, financial clients, healthcare clients. Data is very, very important for them. Applications should run up and run, and data should available 24 by 7. Let's say if 1 second or at least let's say 5 seconds server is down, they lose lot of money. For them, money is not important. Application should available 24 by 7. Then they are going to replicate applications in multi-availability zones, cross regions also. Even though that is expensive, but but they want to make application available 24/7, 365 days. They spend money. Okay, we have multi-availability zones replication, and we have a cross region. We can replicate into another regions also to make applications or storage available 24/7, 365 days, called reliability. At any cost, any failure situation happen, we want to make our application and data available to their customers. Okay, there are plenty of reasons because of people moving from on-premise to cloud, like AWS.